This next individual, he has really made an impact, and the way he does this is by getting us past our mental blocks. So what I realized is we've done a lot of tactics today. I've taught went tactical, Sharon went tactical, Daniel G's going into like exactly what to say and all these kind of things that we're doing. But many people don't execute for another reason. Not because they lack information. It's because there's something inside that's keeping you from doing it. You know what I'm saying? We've all dealt with this, right? And so I was complaining to my wife. I said, hey, people just don't, I speak at all these events and some of them do it, but most people don't execute. And why is that? And, is it even worth it because only this top group does it and everybody else doesn't? And she's like, Neil, yes, they're doing it in their own time sometimes. Sometimes it is laziness, but the other part is sometimes it's a mental block that you need to get past. And so I said, well, how do we get people past the mental block? And this is the first, I asked all my network of people. They said, this is the guy who does that. He is the #1 performance and purpose coach in the country, okay? And also a former NFL player. Now he reaches millions of people with this content. And the reason why he reaches so many people and it resonates is because it really helps people move past these issues mentally. And so I thought, hey, we could, finish up the day today. We got 2 things today. This could be one of those things to really move people into the next level. And so I have a video here. Let's cue it up.
Trent Shelton!
Trent Shelton is in this house.
Trent Shelton now sharing the life lessons he learned along the way.
The greatest speaker alive today.
If you see yourself as less, you're going to operate as less, you're going to do less, you're going to accept less, you're going to settle for less.
The most successful, impactful speaker of this generation.
When people say, Trent, I'm so stressed, it's because you're connected to stress.
An amazing speaker, a preacher, a teacher, somebody who inspires, motivates, and always lands the plane.
You brought your dream to somebody who's not a dreamer, and you expecting them to see what was specifically prescribed to you.
And we do that with our dreams, we do that with our vision, we do that with our purpose, and we're expecting people to see what's been given to us.
All right, everybody, on your feet, one time. Give it up, a warm forward family welcome to Mr. Trent Shelton. Let's go.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Thank you. What's up? How we feeling over here? How we feeling? Come on. Yeah. How we feeling? How we feeling? Yeah. What about how we feeling? We feeling good? Are we feeling good? Are we feeling good? There we go. How we doing over here? How we doing? Good. There we go. There we go. All right, we can cut it. Hey, stay up. I know it's the end of the day, and I'm gonna just say I'm an introvert by nature. You're probably not gonna believe that while I'm on the stage, but I promise you, I'm gonna give you all that I have in this 35 minutes. I'm gonna give you my energy. All that I ask that y'all reciprocate it, okay? I don't need you to take every single note. I don't need you to take, I'm not naive enough to think you're gonna take everything or you need everything I'm gonna say, but I will say this, application creates transformation. So get something. It can be a word, it can be a sentence, it can be a whole whatever. I'm gonna talk a lot, I'm gonna go a lot of places, but get something. So shake your neighbor and say, get something. Shake your other neighbor and say, get something. For sure. So if you're ready, I wanna practice this, okay? When I say let's, you say get it. Let's. There we go. All right, y'all ready now. Let's sit down. So I want to start here just really quick. There's so many things I could talk about, but I want to talk about living legendary. And when I say the word legendary, oftentimes we hear that people think that it's only available to the people that's been on the stage. It's only available to celebrities. It's only available to certain people. But if you think right now, the most legendary people in your life were not celebrities. It was grandmama, it was dad, it was mom, it was coach. It was the people the world might not know anything about. And what I realized that each and every one of us, I promise you, I guarantee you, we have a legend inside of us. And when I say that, I'm gonna break this down. If you feel like, Trent, I'm not a legend, that's problem number 1. Because if you don't believe in you, then nobody else is gonna believe in you. You set the tone for your life. And this is coming from a person, I didn't have a handout. I've been doing this for 15 years, and when Drake said it started from the bottom, that was me. My first events were 5 people, and it was the people who felt sorry for me in my life that showed up. My first videos were 10 people watching. You hear the billions of video views. All those things are cute. But I'm a speaker that tells you where I started from. I know how it feels to start from the bottom. I know how it feels to get cut from a dream and something get taken away from you, like who am I now, losing your identity? And I know how it feels to bounce back. I know how it feels to be legendary. So I want you to think about right now, how can you be more legendary in your life? We're going to talk about 5 reasons, but I want to give you this definition. A legend is just an ordinary person that's extraordinary at something. A legend is just an ordinary person that's extraordinary at something. And one of the first things that every legend has to do is give themselves permission. Permission to go for it, permission to go for what seems impossible, permission to level up their life, permission to meet the you inside of you haven't even met yet, and that you is the greatest you. I promise you, there is another level to your life. No matter how high you are, how low you think you may be, there's a you inside of you that you haven't even met yet. And hopefully by the end of this talk and conversation, you start to meet the greatest version of yourself. But I need you to give yourself permission. Can y'all do that for me? Can y'all do that for me? I'll give you a quick little story about the power of giving permission. So on my day job, I'm a youth football coach. Well, now Tristan's 15, so I guess I can't really say that. He thinks he's a grown man, but he's really, you know how 15-year-olds are, right? But back when he was, 10, 5th grade, 6th grade, he played football, and I was the coach. And I promise you it wasn't daddy ball. I promise you it wasn't. But I was the coach, and we had, I'm trying to be nice with this because social media never who sees this, but we were we weren't too good. And I wasn't trying to be like motivational Trent. I was just chill Trent, but we got beat by a team that was terrible. And we got to practice that week, and I said, man, something has to change. So these kids got their first lesson of being legendary. So I looked each kid in the eye, and I said, listen, some of you are waiting for me to give you permission to be great. Some of you are waiting for your parents to give you permission. Some of you are waiting for your teammates to give you permission. Their generation, our generation, some of you are waiting on social media to give you permission. I want everybody on this team to give yourself permission right now and just go make a play, make an impact. That was my whole speech every single day at practice. We literally broke out every single huddle with give permission. So we get to the game. I'm going to speed this story up for the sake of time. We get to game day, which is Saturday. And we're losing. Third quarter, we're down by like 14 points. I don't remember the exact score. And I don't believe in, I'm just this guy, I'm sorry if we disagree, but I don't believe in participation trophies. Just saying. I don't believe in pay to play. That's just not me. I believe in earn it because I'm going to teach you life lessons because you can pay as much you want in life. If you haven't earned it, they're not going to give it to you. So every parent didn't agree with me with that, obviously, especially the moms, the dads that believed in little Johnny so much, and little Johnny's the greatest thing ever, right? Those parents. And so we're down by 14 the third quarter, and one of my star cornerbacks gets hurt. So as a coach, I already know what the other coach is about to do. If I see an injury and I see a deficiency, I'm going to attack that. So I said, man, we got to get somebody else in. So I'm trying to think, scramble, and all I see from my peripheral is a little jack-in-the-box head there, little, right? Run out on the field. And some of you don't understand this. You're like, what's wrong with that, Trent? This kid never played, and he shouldn't have played. But he ran out on the field. I'm trying to call his name, and my coaches is looking at me like, bro, what are you doing? I'm the defensive coordinator. What are you doing? Their mama's in the stands. Go, Johnny, go. Like, she's happy now. So I'm yelling at him, and I know he heard me. But he just kept running. So I'm like, Lord, I'm telling my son at safety, hey, help out, like double coverage. They going to him. Everybody shift. First play comes along. They run a sweep, which is a toss to the running back, to the left side. To Johnny's side, he's the right cornerback. What does Johnny do? Can somebody tell me? Johnny, by surprise, I don't know what was in him, he makes the tackle. He makes the tackle, and he gets up and kind of looks at me. I know this because I play sports. When a coach doesn't treat me right and I do something, I kind of give the coach a look. He looks at me like, yeah, I should have been out here. And all I hear his mom is like, yeah, Johnny, you should have been playing the whole time, yes. I'm like, Lord, after today, I'm going to hear this. So second down comes. They run to the opposite side, make it stop. It's third down, right? They got to get it first down. I know they're about to throw it to this kid. Quarterback drops back. And yes, they throw to little Johnny's side, and he drops back. The pass is in the air, and I didn't even look. You ever watch a football game, you just put your head, I'm just waiting for the crowd to just erupt on the other sideline. But instead of other crowd erupting, our sideline erupted. And little Johnny, that's not his name, but I'm protecting myself here. He made an interception, and he picked off the ball. So If you ever played sports, you got that, what we call like bravado, that swag when coach has been disrespecting you and not playing you. So I already see his swag. He running to the sideline, looking over there. His mom is like, yeah, you should have been playing. You should have been playing. And he looks at me, right? And I pull him to the side and say, hey, bro, come here. I said, great play. But I said, who told you to go in the game? And he looked at me. He said, Coach Trent, the whole week, you've been talking about give yourself permission. You said if you see an opportunity, go for it. You said that if you want to, and I'm like, I was like, I didn't, and I caught myself, and I said, you know what, you're right. And he said, by the way, coach, I gave myself permission. How did I do? And I said, you did great. And all I hear is the mother. So the point and moral of that story is, listen, give yourself permission. Now, you want to be mindful. I'm not saying at your job just go overstep people because it might not work out that way. But give yourself permission to be legendary. If y'all can do that, say, when I say let's, you say get it. Let's. I want to bring this picture up. This guy right here, none of y'all know, I'm sure. This is always tough for me, you know. I'm a communicator that loves to be vulnerable. You know, this isn't a scheduled or structured speech. This is a conversation between me and you, and I debated whether to put this up there or not because it's pretty hard for me. But one of the pillars of being legendary and living legendary is that you have to have a mission. And the thing that I see with most people who make impact, most people who make change, most people who shift the culture, most people who change things, disrupt things, they have a mission. And so for some of us, you might say, Trent, I have a mission. My mission is to help people. My mission is to make more money. That's great. But the thing that I realize with a lot of people is that the deeper the mission, the deeper the why, the stronger the action. So when setbacks show up because they will, when obstacles show up because they will, when adversity shows up because it will, you still find a reason to keep going. That guy right there is named Anthony Arline. He's my reason of why I keep going. He's the reason why I started Rehab Time when I didn't want to be a speaker. In 2011, I got a call on July 4th from a friend that they found my best friend, my college roommate, dead in his room. He had committed suicide. And I don't know if any of you ever dealt with losing someone like that, but it broke my heart. And at that time in my life, if I was in Vegas, I wouldn't be here, I'll tell you that. I would be somewhere out doing whatever, trying to find myself. And I'll never forget, I was going to his service and looking at Anthony in his casket, and I told Anthony, I said, bro, I'm gonna live the rest of my life. And this is before anybody watched the video. This is before anybody said I was a great speaker. This is before any of that, any type of external validation. There was a burn in my heart. There was a knowing, a deep knowing in my soul that I was made for more. And when I looked at his casket, I told Anthony, bro, I'm gonna live the rest of my life. I'm gonna make a commitment, not a promise, a commitment. A commitment says I'm gonna stay loyal to the mood. Right? I'm going to stay loyal to the promise. I'm going to stay loyal to the thing even when the mood has left me. Even when inconvenience shows up, I'm still going to show up. Even when I do all the things I'm learning at this conference and it doesn't take off overnight, I'm still going to show up. Even when I share my vision and nobody understands it, I'm still going to be loyal to my vision. And that was my promise, to help people know that they're enough. Even when they lose something, they don't have to lose everything. So because of him, I started. Because of him, I keep going. You guys will learn later on that I went through the hardest 3 years of my life recently. If you follow me, you already know where I'm going with this. But every time I wanted to give up and quit and turn my back and throw in the towel, I would reach back and I didn't have a towel to throw in because I made a promise and a commitment that I would never throw in the towel on my mission. Some of us, can I be real with you here? Can I be real? Some of us, and I hope you take it personal. I'm gonna step on some toes. But some of us, we're not committed, we're interested. And it's okay. Interest can turn into commitment, but some of us are interested in living legendary. We're interested in taking the business to the next level. We're interested. And the thing that I see with people that are interested is that they quit when it gets hard. They quit when things don't show up. They quit when people on stage tell you to do all these things and it doesn't happen overnight. You throw in the towel and you quit on your life. So what I want to do right now, I'm going to do this for like 2 minutes. If we can bring that audio back, please, really quick. I want you to give this gift to yourself. Because you guys have been taking in information, you're probably information overload. This isn't for everybody. I'm not here to reach everybody, but the you I'm supposed to reach, whoever it is, even if it's one, my job is done. I want you to think about right now. Don't worry about your neighbor. This might be kind of awkward or odd. Don't worry about what you got to do later on. I want you to close your eyes if you want, but I want you to think about your mission. I want you to think about right now the reason why you have to, the reason why you must, what you're fighting for. And whatever reason you come up with, I want you to dive deeper into that reason. So when all impossibilities show up, you still stay loyal to the mission. Who are you doing it for? What are you doing it for? Why are you doing it? Just spend 2 minutes. You can do this later on. I do this almost weekly to remind myself. And I'm not here to tell you what your mission should be, but I see a lot of people make the mistake of having external missions. And nothing wrong with that. Becoming millionaires, great. I've been there. Having all the things, nothing wrong with that. Go get it. But what I do know, even when you get all the things, what you're still left with is the things that you didn't heal from or deal with. It has to be bigger than just these external temporary things that fade. You know, one of the things that my mother taught me as you're thinking about this, give yourself about 30 more seconds. My mother, bless her soul, she taught me through her death that your life is not multiplied through your possessions. Your life is multiplied through your purpose. It's not multiplied by the things that you buy, because the things that you buy die when you die, but your purpose lives on forever. Through your kids, through your community. Give about 15 more seconds. Good. Eyes up. I know that might seem like a down moment, but you got to revisit that as much as you can, because sometimes the greatest threat to your success is your success. Sometimes the greatest success to your failure is your failure, but when you remind yourself that it's bigger than you. And I got to tell you this, like people say, Trent, why do you keep going? You have millions of followers, you've impacted the world. And I tell people this, I know for a fact there's a heart that needs my message that has no idea who Trent Shelton is. And I'm seeking and I'm going to get that heart as much as I can and show up. So I want to tell you this, there's somebody in the world that needs you. And I want you to hear me. Lock in right here. Eyes up. There's somebody in the world that needs you. Doesn't need Gary Vee, doesn't need Neil, doesn't need Rory, doesn't need Jamie that's coming, doesn't need Trent, doesn't need anybody. They need you. Only you can reach them. And my grandmother told me that, said, Trent, there's a million people in the world that want to do what you do, but there's only one of you. And there's a group of people that's been assigned directly to you. And until you answer your calling, until you walk into your mission, these people are never going to get the information, never going to get the life-changing lessons, your stories, your impact that they're meant to receive. There's somebody waiting on you. You're flawed, imperfect you. Some of us, we waiting to be perfect to start. Damn perfection. And I'll say it. With this social media filter life, everybody wants to be perfect. Smiling for the camera, but dying behind the scenes. I see so many influencers, entrepreneurs that I see all the time. I have friends that literally aren't here no more. And if I said their name, you would know who they are, because they were smiling for the camera, but dying behind the scenes. It's not worth it. You weren't born to be perfect. You were born to be real. Your real story, your real message. Stop hiding it, because somebody needs it. If y'all got that, say, let's get it. Let's. Moving forward. Y'all with me? Yeah. All right. Y'all still with me? Yeah. Good. Living legendary. Mission is important, right? Understand your mission. Dive deep on your mission. Number 2, in living legendary, okay? It all starts with you. These words changed my life. It's my statement. I said it in every single video because I had to look myself in the mirror and say, Trent, bro, it's not your mama's fault that you got cut. I was blaming my mom and dad for making me too slow, right? That just made me feel better. It's not the politics. It's not society. Like, yes, those things might make things a little bit different. But at some point, you got to look in the mirror and say, it all starts with you. Your next level starts with you. Your forgiveness and healing starts with you. What you want to do in your life starts with you. And so, living legendary, you have to take and write this down. Number 2, massive ownership over your life. Every legend I know takes massive ownership over their life. What does that mean? It means that they say it's on me. I'm the type of guy in sports, when I play football, I say, coach, give me the ball, I want it. I don't care if I drop the last 3 passes, throw it to me, it's on me. I want the responsibility. For some people in this world, and I've been here before, so I'm not judging you, we try to deflect. We say it's everybody else's fault. I like to call this the BC mindset. Blame and complain. Living life like this. It's because of my parents. It's because I don't have the information yet. It's because that person's lucky. It's because, oh, they're more blessed than me. And you always find reasons to justify why you're not going to live the life that you're meant to live. The BC mindset does not serve you. And legends do not sit here and live in excuses and live in blame. It's one of the greatest poisons to your soul. It makes you feel good about doing nothing with your life. So instead, we say the AC mindset, accept and change. It happened to me. I went through this, but man, it's going to make a beautiful story. Last time I checked, just because you have some bad chapters doesn't mean your story can't end well. For some of you in here, you're a choice away from a new beginning. A choice. And a commitment away from a new life. A choice. That's it. A choice. My choice was deciding that was more to my life than football. That's how I got here, making a choice. And it gives me chills because if I would have never made that choice, I wouldn't be doing what I do today. A choice. There's 3 types of people in this world. I've been all 3. Which one are you? The first type of person is the watcher. Oh, Lord, in social media world, we got a lot of watchers. Let me see your screen time. I'll tell you if you're a watcher. 15 hours on Instagram, right? But I don't have time. But the watcher is the person that, as an athlete, that's the person in the stands is like, oh, LeBron James sucks, right? Tom Brady is terrible, right? It's always the person giving commentary, and I get it. But the watcher sits in the stands. The watcher is just legendary at watching, legendary at critiquing, legendary at giving their opinion, legendary at giving the 2 cents that nobody asked for. That's why they're emotionally bankrupt. We have so many watchers. Some of you are just watching this stage. Like, if I'm you, maybe you're not being a speaker, but if you have the urge in your heart to be a speaker, I'm like, man, if Trent can be on stage just being his imperfect self, then what can I do? When I was a kid, when I first saw Jerry Rice, I'm like, man, I love Jerry Rice, but I want to be Jerry Rice. It never worked out like that. But I actually just spoke on the stage with Jerry Rice a few months ago. So I didn't want to watch no more. The second type of person is the wisher. Wishers are great, have great intentions. Wishers are the type of people who pray about it and do nothing about it. Wishers are, I wish this can change, or wishers, and I probably won't get in trouble for saying this, but Lord forgive me. Wishers are complaining about this country. They complain about the president, right? Oh, I wish things were different, but yet you complain about a country, but yet you're not handling your business in your own household. I just lost some followers there. I see it going now. A wisher. I used to be that. But then there's a room full of people here that I know, even the ones that I met last night at VIP, I know y'all are like this. I'm sure majority of people in this room are like this. And by the way, it's okay wherever you're at. Just take ownership. But the third type of person is the worker. It's the person that just puts in the damn work. That's it. They figure things out. They go through the process. They trust the process. They fall in love with progression. They're not afraid to mess up because they understand the greatest road to success is the road of failure, is the ups and downs. They understand the valley might be ugly, but the peak is beautiful. They understand that everything that's trying to break me, it's building me. Everything that's trying to work against me is actually working for me. They understand that. The worker is the person that the watcher watches. The worker is the person that the wisher wishes they could be. And then the worker has to be you. Because wishing ain't gonna get you nowhere, and for damn sure, excuse my French, watching ain't gonna get you nowhere. Ain't nobody gonna come give you a handout. Nobody's coming to save you. And I know y'all realize that, but understand that. People care, but they don't care that much. Living legendary, realize it all starts with you. Massive ownership. Let's. Good. Number 3, every legend I know, and I love to talk about this. I wish I had an hour, but I got like 11 minutes left. Y'all still with me? Yeah. I'm going to go through this. Success is not solely determined by world-class talent. You know, it's so funny in sports, we talk about this, like when talent meets talent, talent is no longer good enough. The higher you go, you're going to reach talent. What separates people is rather it's forged through unwavering commitment to world-class consistency. I love consistency. I study consistency. I think consistency is the number one thing that will make you legendary. Being consistent in what you do. And so many people feel like they have a consistency problem. And so number 3, write this down. Every legend has what I call conscious consistency. Conscious consistency. What does that mean? It's mindful about your consistency. Every single human being is consistent at something. You're either consistent at just letting life go by, you're consistent at doing nothing with your life, you're consistent at doing the wrong things, or you're consistent at working and building the thing that you say you care so much about. I'm not going to ask you to raise your hand because I already know some hands will go up. I'm not going to call nobody on spot because we don't have time. But when I ask this question, a lot of hands go up. People say they have a consistency problem. Anybody feel like that? Just raise your hand real quick. Cool. I used to tell myself that lie a lot. I have a consistency problem. You don't have a consistency problem. And I'm going to prove a point right here. Can I do that for you? How many of y'all work a job or work the job, past tense? I want you to raise your hand and get fired because somebody see this online. You're like, Trent, I already left. How many of you work a job or work the job that you hated at some point in your life? Okay, keep your hands up. Awesome, look around, right? A lot of people hating their jobs. Keep your hands up. How many of you showed up every single day to that job? Can somebody tell me why? Yell it out. Huh? You said what? You saw your mother do it? Okay, what else? Somebody tell me. Y'all can yell it out. Come on, yell. What'd you do? Right there. Right? You understood vividly what would happen if you didn't show up to that job. If I don't show up, I'm not going to get paid. If I don't get paid, I won't have a house. I won't have money to take care of the things I need to take care of. You understood vividly what would happen if you didn't show up. You understood, write this down, the opportunity cost. If you want to be more consistent in your life, understand OC, opportunity cost. How much is it costing you not showing up? You understood exactly. You probably already had it budgeted in. If I don't go to this job, it's going to be X, Y, Z, and I know this. How many of you went to school? I know some of y'all going front, but it's okay. How many went to school and hated it? I went to Baylor. I studied speech communications, not to be a speaker, so I wouldn't fail out, so I could make it to the NFL. Crazy how things work out, right? Keep your hand up. People hated school. Cool. Somebody tell me, did you go to school every day pretty much? Right? Pretty much. Why? Huh? Okay, so let's start right there. He said you had to. Did you have to? Did you really have to? Now, I understood if I didn't go. I understood. I probably can't talk about this. It's probably child abuse back then. But I understood what would happen if I went home with my parents, right? It would be on. Like, man, I understood that. Same with your job. So I understood what would happen if that happened. So we tell ourselves often we had to. You went to school. You said you weren't consistent. You had a consistency problem, but you went to a job that you hated for years and you showed up every single day, but you have a consistency problem. You went to school for 12 plus years, didn't like it, but you showed up, but you have a consistency problem. Can we get real in here? That's not a consistency problem. You didn't have to show up, but you did because you understood what it was costing you. So this is my question to you guys. Everybody here has a consistency problem. If you can be, some of us, we stay in poor relationships, friendships for years. That's consistent. So my question is this: if you can be consistent at the things that you hate, then why can't you be consistent at the thing that you say you love, at the thing that you say means everything to you? I'll tell you why. Number one, and for some people this is true, it don't mean that much to you. I heard people say, Trent, I want to be a speaker. I say, okay, go speak to kids at elementary school. Oh, I ain't doing that. Okay, cool. By the way, speaking to kids is the hardest audience you ever will speak to. You want to be a great speaker? Go speak in front of kids, I promise you. They'll let you know how boring you are real quick. And then number two is that you don't understand how much it's costing you not to show up. So put a price on it, okay? You want to be more consistent in showing up online? Oh, I'm so afraid to go live. They're going to judge me. People are judging you anyway. People judge you for not going live. Oh, this person never go live. This person go live too much. People are judging you regardless, so you might as well be the greatest version of yourself and give them something great to judge. Y'all feel that? Y'all feel that? I got 6 minutes, all right? Number 4, and live legendary. That's my baby girl, Maya, right there. We're actually in New York City, and on the back of that shirt, it says 3 words that changed my life. I have a book about it, and I don't have time to teach on protect your peace, but I do want to say this. Every person I know that lives legendary, they're very good at this, and it's protecting their perspective. Perspective is the window of how you see the world. And the beautiful thing about perspective is this: nobody can control your perspective but you. Your perspective is yours. So some people in the audience might say, oh man, Trent is boring. And you're probably right in your eyes. Who am I to argue with you? Some of you might say, oh man, this is great. You're probably right. It's your perspective. And this is what I want to tell you. Your perspective can be one or two things. Your perspective can either be your prison or your power. VIP, we talked about this yesterday. What's a prison perspective? See, legends, we don't have a prison perspective because a prison perspective doesn't serve my soul. It doesn't serve my life. It doesn't serve and give me the energy that I need to go create some legendary things. But a prison perspective is the number one excuse that I hear from everybody in my inbox. Lord, Trent, that's easier said than done. Everything is. Was it not easier said than done to come here? But you came, right? It's not easier said than done to brush your teeth? But you brush them, right? Right? Hopefully, right? Your neighbor is suffering if you don't. Everything in this world is easier said than done. But the power perspective simply says this: no matter how impossible it may seem, no matter how hard it may be, I'm going to get it done. Because I go back to that deep-rooted reason. Mine is Anthony. Mine is my kids. Mine is all the rehabbers across the world. I go back to that. So no matter how hard it gets, I still find a way to persevere, and I still find a way to endure even my hardest storms. I'm not the speaker who's going to tell you everything's going to be all right. When you leave here, real life is going to hit you in the face. I promise you. You're going to go back to the same problems, the same habits, the same people probably doubting you, the same people probably telling you crazy for even being here. But who are you going to be when those moments happen? See, when I talk about protect your peace, I wish I had an hour to talk about this, but peace is something you will never experience if you keep allowing the things you can't control to control you. I believe peace is the greatest success that you can have. Without peace, you have nothing. With peace, you have everything. Have you ever been at a point in your life when things aren't working out, but you're still good because you just feel at peace? Have you been at a point in life where you have everything going right? You're hitting all the numbers, everybody loves you, but you have no peace? And it just feels like you're feeling cursed for the blessings that have been put on your life? Anybody, or it's just me? 2016, that was me. And when you read the book, you will see that I had an encounter with a homeless man that really checked me. He says, oh, you're a person, because I don't have time to tell the story, but basically he told me, man, I saw everybody's here to see you. I was on tour, and you're back here crying. He said, oh, man, I'm trying to help him out, push him along, give him $100. I don't want that. He said, I don't need your money. He said, because I have everything that to you may look like nothing, but I have peace in my life. It looks like with you, because you're out here crying and suffering, everybody loves you, it looks like you have everything that means nothing. I don't want you to lose yourself in success. I want you to be able to know who you are when you become successful. A lot of people don't talk about that. And people struggle with that every single day. The most successful people I've been around in sports, I've been around in business. I've been around billionaires that will tell you financial freedom still don't mean you're free. Every leader protects their perspective. As we close this out, I just want to leave y'all with some words, and I got to stop putting up these sad pictures. But right there, I'm bringing my book to my mom's grave. My mom got tired of kicking cancer's butt, so she transitioned to one of my best angels in 2021. And it was hard because in that year, and I like to share this to be transparent, because your transparency will lead to your transformation. Your transparency will lead to other people's transformation. I want to show y'all this, because I want you to understand we're connected. We all struggle. That's what brings this whole human experience together. We all have our struggles. Some people just hide theirs better. But in 2021, I lost my mom. In 2021, I lost my mom. 2 days later, I almost lost my daughter. 2 weeks after that, I lost my grandmother. A year after that, I tore my Achilles and could barely walk. I almost had to get my leg cut off. Back to back to back. But I realized that every legend, and write this down, has a resilient spirit. No matter what comes up against them, no matter what comes against them, they find a way. When their back's against the wall, they're comfortable. They understand that everything that they're going through will soon turn into everything you made it through. And I want to tell the person in the audience right now that I'm speaking to, that everything you're going through is everything you're making it through. Everything you're going to make it through, so keep going. I don't know if you know this, but you only get one life. One shot, one chance. And every single day you have a choice. You can sing your song of greatness, or you can let the world silence that voice. You see, millions of people die with regret. My question is that going to be you? Get into your final days of life knowing you're about to die with your dreams because you never acted on making those dreams come true. Knowing you're not going to meet the greatest you because you wasted so much of your life not doing the things you were created to do. Please don't experience death knowing you settled for less. Please don't get to your final breaths of life knowing you didn't give your best, because once this life is over, it's over. There's no do-overs. It's done. So you got to stop living like you get another shot at this, because the truth is you only get one. There will come a day when tomorrow doesn't come. So you got a choice. You can face everything and rise, or you can fear everything and run. You got a choice. You can go for it, or you can just watch it go by. But I will tell you this. Failure only happens to the life that doesn't try. Why be the one that lives but never feels alive? Be the one that knows the sky's the limit because you wasn't afraid to fly. You might not be in control of how you die, but I promise you this, you're in control of how you live. Don't be the one that chooses to give up when you know in your soul you got so much more to give. Why choose to live unfulfilled when you can choose to live great? I promise you it's possible. Because only impossibilities that exist are the ones you create. You'll miss 100% of the shots that you don't take, so stop playing it safe. Shoot away. Because only strikeout in life is not stepping up to the plate. That dash between your birthday and your death date, that's what matters. There's millions of people that said next year, tomorrow, next time, that took their dreams, that took their books, that took their gifts, that took their passion, their purpose, that took their legacy to the grave. So for an event, no more someday. Get on your feet, get on your feet. No more someday. No more someday. No more someday. Turn to your neighbor. Turn to your neighbor. Turn to your neighbor and say, start today. Say, start today. Say, start today. Say, start today. Start today. Make today your day one. If you truly made that decision, moving forward to your best life has just begun. But like I always tell you, it all starts with you. It's rehab time. Let's get it. I'm Trent Shelton. Thank you so much.